Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of Jatco's 5-minute bedtime stories. Today, I'll be reading Quidditch Through the Ages by J.K. Rowling, read by Jatco Yun. Prologue. Quidditch Through the Ages is one of the most popular titles in Hogwarts School Library. Madam Prince, our librarian, tells me that it is poured about dribbling on and generally maltreated nearly every day. A high complaint from anyone who plays or watches Quidditch regularly will relish Miss Roop's books, as do those of us interested in wizarding history. As we have developed the games of Quidditch, so it has developed us. Quidditch unite witches and wizards from all walks of life, bring us together to share moments of exhilaration, triumph, and for those who support Chanley Cannon's despair. It was with some difficulty, it must own, that I persuaded Madam Prince to part with one of her books so that it might be copied from wider consumes. Indeed, when I told her it was be made available to muggles, she said, rendered temporarily speechless, and neither moved nor blinked for several minutes. When she came to herself, she was thoughtful enough to ask whether I had taken leave on my sense. I was pleased to reassure her on her point and went on to explain why I had taken this unpredicted decision. Muggle readers will need no introduction to the world of comic relief. Now, I will repeat my explanation to Madam Prince of benefits of witches and wizards who have purchased this book. Comic relief uses laughter to fight poetry and injustice. Widespread amusement is converted into large quantities of money. Over £1 billion since they started in 1985. By buying this book, and I would advise you to buy it, because if you read it for too long without handing over the money, you will find yourself the object of the cure. You too will be contribute to magical mission. I would be deceiving my readers if I said this explanation made Madam Pomfrey happy about handing over the library book to the muggles. She suggested several alternatives, such as telling the people from Comic Relief that the library had burned down, or simply pretending that I had dropped dead without leaving instructions. When I told her that on the whole I preferred my original plan, she frankly agreed to hand over the book, though at the point when it came to let go of it, her nerves failed her, and I was forced to print her fingers individually from the spine. Although I have removed the usual library book spells from this volume, I cannot promise that every trace has gone, but Madam Prince has been known to add unusual jinxes to her books in her care. I myself doodle obsessively minded on a copy of Thirties of Dumpton Transfigures last year, and next moment found the book beating me fiercely around the head. Please be careful how you treat this book. Do not rip the pages out. Do not drop it in the bath. I cannot promise that Madam Prince will not swoop down on you whenever you are and demanded a heavy fine. All that remains is for me to thank you for supporting the Comic Relief and to beg muggles not to try Quidditch at home. It is, of course, not an entirely fictional sport, and nobody really plays it. May I also take this opportunity to wish Dumbledore united the best of luck next season. Signed, Albus Dumbledore. Chapter 1. The History of Broomsticks. No spell yet deserved enable wizards to fly unaided in human form. From those Amigi who transformed into winged creatures may enjoy flight, but they are a rarity. The witch or wizard who finds himself or her transfigured into a bat may take into air, but having a bat's brain, they are sure to forget where they want to go for a moment. They take flight. Levitation is commonplace, but our ancestors were not content with hovering 5 feet from the ground. They wanted more. They wanted to fly like birds, but without the inconvenience of growing feathers. We are so escorted these days to fact that every wizarding household in Britain owns at least one flying broomstick that we rarely stop to ask ourselves why. Why should the humble broomstick have become the one object illegally allowed as means of wizarding transport? Why did we in the West North adopt the carpet so beloved our Eastern breath? Why didn't we choose to produce flying barrows, flying armchairs, flying bathtub? Why brooms? Shrewd enough to see that their muggle neighbors would seek to exploit their powers if they knew their full extent. Wizards and witches kept themselves to themselves long before the International Institute of Wizarding Society came to an effect. If they were able to keep a means of flight in the house, it would be necessary be something discreet, something easy to hide. The broomstick was ideal for the purpose. Inquiry, no explanation, no excuse if found by muggles. It was easily portable and inexpensive. Nevertheless, the first broomstick bewitched for flying purposes that had their backs drawn. Records show that witches and wizards in Europe were using flying broomsticks as early as AD 927. A German illuminated manuscript of this pyramid showed that 3 warlocks dismounted from their broom with looks of anguished discomfort on their faces. Duran Lucan, a Scottish wizard writing in 1107, spoke of the flitter-filled buttocks and burgess pals. He suffered a short broom ride from Mount Angro. A medical broomstick on display in the museum. A Quidditch in London, which gives insight into Lunch's comfort. A thick knotty handle, unvarnished ash. Hazel twigs are bound cruelly to one end. It is neither comfortable nor aerodynamic. The charms placed upon it were simply basic. It would only move forward at one speed and would go up and down and stop. As wizarding families in those days made their own brooms, there were enormous variations in the speed, comfort, and handling of transports available to them. By the 12th century, however, wizards had learned to barrier service, so that a skilled maker of brooms could exchange them for potions his neighbor might make better than himself. Once broomsticks became more comfortable, they were thrown for pressure rather than merely used as means for getting from point A to point B.